And we're back, as usual. It's the special Mustafa. I got Mustafa with me today.
Aye.
By popular demand, a lot of people will need you back, lad. There you are, mate. You need to come back and as well, don't I?
No,
what an absolute lying. Anyway, on with it. Club World Cup, your team about to close a little circle. If they can close a little circle, do you think they will close this little circle? 5 trophies?
They should do. I mean, on paper they should, but they are going through a very rough patch.
Urawa Diamonds 3-0. Kovacic, Matheus Nunes scored.
What's their name?
Urawa Diamonds. Oh, whatever it is.
Asian Champions League?
Yeah, I think it was them. Yeah, the Japanese team.
Japanese team.
They were in there. Al Ittihad obviously kicked out. So they could have
By
been
Fluminense, isn't it?
no, by Al Ahly, the Egyptian team.
Oh.
Yeah, and Fluminense then beat
Al Ahly.
Al Ahly now.
Bit of a longer system.
And Fluminense, Felipe Melo, Marcelo, Andre in defensive midfield. No, that's what I mean. That is actually the point. They've got 3 players that are just known, but it's a team of unknowns who are bought into the tactics of Fernando Diniz, who is the real superstar of the team, Mustafa. So, and the reason that we're doing this podcast is we wanted to touch on Fernando Diniz's revolutionary tactics, which are sweeping the South American world of football and about to, I think, enter into European football, especially once Pep has a look at it tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if Pep and Diniz have a bloody 24-hour meeting then afterwards.
He needs a new tactic at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So you're right. I think Pep does need a new tactic. And this type of new tactic that we're going to talk about is a bit of a breakaway from the school of the Spanish coaches like Alonso, Iraola, who's a new Arteta. They're more like tiki-taka, possession-based.
The Spanish style of total football.
Yeah, and brought in more Pep, who's obviously developed that style. He's the daddy of that style of play. Then you've got probably the Italian styles, I'll say, which is the Catenaccio. You see Allegri, who is Conte with the full-backs revolutionised it in the Premier League. Doesn't get the credit that he deserves, I think. 3-5-2. No, it's bloody Victor Moses, mate, a right wing-back. But it was the fact that
at one point.
Chelsea did, but they sold him back to Juventus.
But I'm sure he was there when Conte was there, no?
Probably was, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I
remember Quadrado.
And then you got the Italian school of thought. Italians have always had some of the greatest tacticians in the game. Yeah, Arrigo Sacchi, there you are. You got Valery Lobanovsky school of thought. For those of you that know your tactics and know your football, Lobanovsky is probably the father of Georgian, the Georgian press, or even
Gegenpressing,
or however you want to say another one that we're going to pronounce a bit wrong. Valery Lobanovsky had 3 stints at Dynamo Kiev. And the most famous one was probably the one in the 90s when Andrei Shevchenko led them to the semi-finals of the Champions League.
So, three Ballon d'Or winners under his reign.
Yep, that's true. From Eastern Europe as well.
He's
Mustafa's godfather of all coaches is Valery Lobanovsky. Top coach, revolutionary. Yeah, sports science he brought in, especially at a time when it was, you could say, unknown. Definitely. What we're focusing on, like I said, as Manchester City, they're about to close this little circle of days. Mustafa, I want like quick predictions to start off with. Will you win? Yes or no? Give me a proper answer, man.
Yes.
All right. So Mustafa thinks they're gonna win.
Reason why? I don't do it.
Yeah, go on.
Only reason why is they need a statement win just to take the pressure off them in the Premier League. To be honest, they've got quite an easy run in the Champions League. When do they never? Last 4 years, I think they've had.
Well, you got to be who's in front of you as well.
Yeah, I think that's another thing that people forget. Pep is susceptible to falling asleep against rubbish teams.
Complacency.
Lyon, I remember very well. Monaco, I remember well. And a few other teams that he had it against.
But
so
he values this trophy. He's won it before, twice with Barcelona. He's obviously...
he'll be, I think, the most successful manager to ever be in it as well.
Yeah,
if he wins it
he will.
Third.
Yeah, he will be. If he wins it for the 3rd time. Real Madrid are the most successful club, having won it 5 times. This current edition started in the year 2000. Corinthians won that year. Manchester United were involved in that one. Vasco da Gama, Romario finished as the top goal scorer. Real Madrid were also involved in that one.
That's right.
And Corinthians won that one. So that was the first ever one. Then from 2001 to 2005, there was no Club World Championship. Right? Yeah. And then in 2006, Internacional beat Liverpool surprisingly.
Marcos D'Alessandro.
Andres de Alessandro. Not Marcos de Alessandro. Andres de Alessandro, that's his name. Right? So Internacional won it then. Then the next time a big shock happened was Corinthians in 2012. They beat Chelsea, Paulo Guerrero scoring. And now can we see another South American, namely a Brazilian team, win this competition in the final edition as it is in this. Ronaldo is the top goal scorer of this. No surprise. He's got 7 goals. CR7 yet. With 7 goals. He's been in it 5 times. So it makes sense that he is the top goal scorer. Obviously, who else would be the top goal scorer? I caught a few of the highlights. Manchester City, good victory. Kovacic, Mateus Nunes, nice and easy, expected. But this is the game, I think, for those of you that know football, those of you who are football purists, that's it. It's the game for the purists. And that's why I'm putting my head on the line, Mustafa, and I think Fluminense are going to beat him. I think Diniz's tactics are going to trump Pep's tactics. Not just Pep, but I think the players are going to be more surprised by what's going on the pitch.
Saying that,
with what Fluminense are going to do.
Pep will be ready. He'll be ready for anything. I think he's seen that many systems against him. And he'll have his South American
the ultimate student and connoisseur of the game is Pep Guardiola. You got to give him that.
He's the greatest at breaking down any tactic in front of him.
I think why Guardiola is so successful is he's always been open to changing his own tactics through the tweaks. I think the best example I can give, and I can remember, was when he first joined Manchester City in the first season. Obviously, English football is a lot about winning the second ball.
Yeah.
And I remember he made a big point in his second season saying to his players, I want you to win the second ball more than anything else. So
that forget that. He lost against Everton, I think. I remember
yes, he did.
Game.
Yeah. So that is the one. You're right.
That is the game
where they were getting bullied off the park, and you're thinking the style of play doesn't work. He tweaked it, and he has been constantly tweaking. If you look at it,
in the middle,
obviously
stuff like that.
The inverted fullback. Bloody hell, this guy won the Premier League with a strikerless system. Let's just be real, right?
Ridiculous.
So Guardiola, when it comes to tactics and when it comes to new systems and revolutionising the game, Guardiola's at the forefront. And that's why it's more surprising that we're seeing a new tactic emerging in South America. South America have some of the best tacticians in world football, in my opinion, right? Some Marcelo Gallardo, who's gone to Al Ittihad.
To say, Well,
right?
Not been confirmed, was it?
No, he's there, Mustafa. He's Al Ittihad's manager, man. Yeah.
I thought he was
no.
rumours.
No.
Highest paid manager in the world or whatever.
Prayer. So Marcelo Gallardo has gone now to Al Ittihad. He was one I was thinking should come to Europe. He's played for PSG, I think, and Monaco in the past. So I thought he might go to France first. Settle there.
Perfect for him.
Barcelona even, especially the way Xavi is now.
Remember when they were getting Xavi and he was second on the list?
Yeah.
Article and stuff, they were saying that he's touted for it and stuff like that.
100%. So let's get into it, Mustafa. Fernando Diniz, his formation, he sets out in a 4-2-3-1 normally. Relationism is the name they've given his tactics. When you're watching it, it looks like complete chaos. It looks like they're doing everything. They're just running after the ball.
What's wrong? Everything that's wrong in football. Looks like
it's controlled chaos, and it's quality. So what they do is when they're playing in a 4-2-3-1. I've got the whiteboard out today, mate. The tactic board is out, lads. So what they do is the two centre backs will always stay in the centre back position on the transition, and Andre will always stay in CDM.
Getting everything out now.
Right. So Andre staying in CDM there. So they'll always have these three that will stay back. The reason I want to take my time out to explain this is because you're going to see it. You'll see 6 players who'll park up here or will end up there somehow, right? On that wing there or in this part of the play. Sucking all into the one zone of the play, right? And then what they think is let's recycle it, and they set up a rondo. Not the triangles that you see Guardiola or the Spanish footballers. And with the rondo, the whole aim is let's recycle possession, 1 touch, 2 touch. Sleight of foot, feint. That's when the streets come out, and that's when he gives them the confidence. The Brazilian style, and he says, listen, you've now got is your canvas, paint your, get your paintbrushes out and do what you need to do and create your chances. Then how they create their chances is obviously they've got their own set attacking patterns. Once they've broken through the rondo and broken through that, there'll be, they'll have one player there on the wing and the diagonal pass they look for in the box. I don't want to go too into it. It's going to get a bit boring for everyone. What they'll do then, that's 6, that's 9 players there. A lot of the time, Diniz will have a player out there like Pep Guardiola.
Final player, isn't it? Yeah.
Out ball. So he has 2 out balls available. If these lot are getting stuck, they can switch it over. And the benefit to switching it over is what? Obviously, all the play goes over. There's nobody there. He's the free man. He can do what he wants. If they're struggling there, Andre's always the player they've got to pass it back to. Then Andre has an option. He can either play it back into the rondo or he needs to find a player where he can play the 1-2 with and start the attack and the vertical pass. And then that's how the pattern starts. So that is relationism in a nutshell. You're going to see this going there, and that's where the beauty of the football comes out, the patterns of play that he's created and he's allowing them to move forward in that way. It's taken Brazil by bloody storm. They don't know what they're doing. Why? Because the centre-back stay there, a right-back will end up at left wing. The left backs are left wing with him. The other guys, they're all there and they're all playing that. The total football, like you said, Mustafa, they all got to be comfortable playing in defence and they've got to be comfortable in the transition. Those of you who know football will know that the transition is probably the most important thing in tactics and in the game. 100%. That when you get caught out, how you're going to be. And they set these things. It's not just, it's a counter-attack and they've gone through. That's why when you watch Manchester United, for example, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they were a set counter-attacking team. Yeah. They knew how to lure teams in and then spring out, bam, 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 bam. That's Mourinho at Madrid, when they got 121 goals, is the perfect example of probably the greatest counter-attacking team of all time. All right? Perfect
Ozil
example.
was always available. Give it to Ozil.
That's what I mean. And the mid-block, absorb the pressure and then take it out.
Different tactical style.
So obviously, this is what Diniz is creating now at Fluminense. It's not just a crazy tactic that looks good. He's actually getting success with it. He's won the Copa Libertadores for them. I think it's the first time in their history, in the over 100-year history. Marcelo winning his 26th trophy. Obviously, he's got the experience there. Andre looking.
He's 40, isn't he?
Who?
Marcelo?
No, I'm saying he's not 40, he's about 36. Andre, who's linked to Liverpool, is there. So it's going to be a good game, Mustafa.
My boy.
KDB could be returning onto Manchester City now. How do you think that Pep Guardiola then will counter-attack this?
Well, I think one key point to say with this system is it's an offshoot of a Cruyff-style system. When Cruyff would play, even though you had the 6 here, the out ball was always available.
Yeah.
If ever you watched Holland, Ajax, or even in Brazil, Barca's teams, there was always someone available on that switcher flank. And Cruyff always mentions make the pitch as wide as possible when you're attacking
100%.
and as narrow as possible when you're defending. And that's what it makes it, is narrow. Now, if they lose the ball, everyone's hoarding into that middle area.
That's another. That's what I missed out on as well. That when they do lose the ball, because they got 6 months around the ball, they can then hunt back in, get the ball back as quick as possible, and start again. Yeah, and sometimes what Diniz does encourage is keep it in that one. Don't use the out ball. Like lure them in and then keep them lured in there and keep the set it up in that that little pocket of space and then move out using that.
You did mention how can you counter it. I think Stones will be very significant if he does play. I think he is still injured.
Okay.
If I'm right. If he's not, then they've got Rico Lewis who's playing in that role at the moment. That holding.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
And I've watched him both games, both Champions League games I've watched. He's been good. He's finding spaces. People are just finding him.
I think the inverted fullback that Pep plays Mustafa will play a key role here because he's going to get him to step in front of the 6 or when they're going to try setting that pattern up. He's going to get them to set. He's going to tell that guy, you're there to cut out that pass and then let's start our move. That's what I think personally.
Big issue at the moment though is we haven't got an out and out left back.
Yeah.
Benjamin Mendy was sold, all right, whatever, he had his case and whatever else. I think it was a mistake. He was never given an opportunity.
He wasn't, yeah.
Zinchenko being sold was an absolute joke, I think. Although I don't like him as a guy. I don't like him as a player as well. But he did his job good.
Yep.
Gvardiol can play left back, has played left back, but he is susceptible to a big mistake.
You know what? Now that you mentioned Josko Gvardiol, overrated in my opinion.
I wouldn't go that far.
Mustafa, he's not proven anything. He's not performed well.
He is out of his position. You have to bring that in.
I don't think he's out of his position because they had him as a left back.
He's a centre back as trade. Him and Upamecano.
I bought him in Football Manager every time last season. Yeah, he was a left back. He was a natural.
Accomplished left back.
No, he was natural in that as well, Mustafa. They're giving him natural.
But FM gives everyone anything.
No, they don't.
FM calls Andre the best wonder kid.
FM's a good, just knowing it. That's indication that he does actually play.
No, I do agree. I don't think he's hit the heights that he should have. But he was one of those signings, I think, that Pep did that he wanted to sort of put him behind the scenes kind of thing.
Like what he normally does, give him 6 months to a year to embed into his system, learn his system, learn the tactics, and then you're the man.
Like when Cancelo did first come, he was sort of put in the background. And so what's your prediction for the game?
My prediction, I do think that Fluminense will beat them 2-1.
I'm going with a 3-0 Man City.
It would be very good, yeah. And we have seen
it will be end-to-end.
Yeah.
100%. It will be one of those fast-paced. If KDB comes back, it's a whole different.
I think KDB will come on 100%. I think he'll play the last half an hour. So will Haaland as well. And that will probably, in the end, if anything, will make the difference. It probably is that KDB and Haaland are coming on the superstar players for Manchester City.
100%.
Do you think this will give them confidence going forward in the season now that they've ticked it in the box?
See, the thing with City is it's the first time in 9 years we've had a stumbling block, really. I'd say even since Mancini times.
Yep.
It's the real first stumbling block.
First stumbling block of Pep Guardiola's career.
But also even for City, as a club, it's a big thing. Losing these many games and everyone's now on their back. You know, even when Pep finished 4th,
Yeah.
everyone put the argument, oh, it's his first season, let him embed. This is his 7th season now, I think, as manager. Yeah, they're always good enough to come back. He'll probably splash 150 million in January. Pep gets what Pep wants. Pep is the manager version of Perez. I always say to you, Perez gets what Perez wants.
Perez gets what Perez wants. Saying that, the European Super League, we will do a separate pod on that. Let's see how that goes about. Fernando Diniz, I was going to say, he's also the Brazil coach at the moment. I forgot to mention at the start. He's holding that, or keeping the seat warm for Carlo Ancelotti at the moment.
I think it'll just be another stupid the Brazilian coach will come in and just flop with them.
Well, Diniz will have the Copa America this summer with Brazil.
Does he?
Yeah,
he does. Unless Carlo Ancelotti comes in.
I think they're going to give Diniz the Copa America. If he has the Copa America, right, Neymar's already been ruled out. It'd be interesting to see if it can...
Have you seen Neymar's video? The ACL video?
No.
Where he's getting rehab?
No.
Those of you are disgusting. Mata screaming he does.
Yeah, that's what happens, yeah.
But I've never seen an injury as bad as, like, obviously it's the worst
ACL's
injury
a bad,
ever.
man.
It's the worst injury probably in football.
Now, you know why I cry all the time?
No, it's on a different level.
Yeah, I've had it twice.
And everything.
Yeah, I've had it twice.
But they did rehab, innit? You didn't do rehab. That's your issue.
I did the first time. I did the rehab first time. Second time it was COVID. I didn't get a chance to do the rehab, right? So Fernando Diniz, Brazil. I think that will be another indication to see if this tactic is, can it work elsewhere and in a different type of football? We've seen it before at Argentina, right? And everyone thought that Argentina were playing a style of football that was, and that's how they did it. It was relationism to suit Leo Messi, right? So the 6, it wasn't like a 6 to set up to do the patterns. What I remember about the relationism of Scaloni's was that the 6 go after the ball. Once they get the ball, pass it to Messi. They won't mess about with it with themselves. Give it to Messi. And then let Messi do everything himself. That was their type of tactic. Why not when you've got the greatest player in the world at your disposal, right? Who dictates tempo anywhere and finds everything. Look at the pass against Holland, that assist from Molina, one of the greatest assists in World Cup history, man. No cap. What a pass, bro. He's looking this way through the legs.
A key point to mention is also Scaloni's considering leaving the nation. If that's the case, Argentina, I think, will go backwards again.
Do you think a European club will take Scaloni?
I think he'll retire. Honestly, I think he will.
I think he should come to Europe.
What else has he got left?
It would be amazing to see him come to Spain. He was at Espanyol or maybe Italian
He's the type
football.
of coach. Without Messi, he'd be nothing, if you know what I mean.
No.
I think don't get me wrong, 36 games unbeaten and whatever, but a large portion of it was Messi.
Of course it was, but I think he's the one that found the winning formula for Leo as well. So give him credit to that. And I would like to see him, for that reason.
I'd like to see him,
For that reason, I'd like to see him.
It's like seeing Zidane in another team other than Madrid.
Yeah, we'd like to see, and Diniz, I think he'll move to Europe in the summer. I don't know.
He's too old, isn't he? Isn't he like 60s?
No, I think he's going to move to Europe.
Isn't he?
Like Bielsa came late in Europe, didn't he? Bilbao, it was with Bilbao where he made his first
real. He was about 51 or something.
I think Diniz will come. I don't know where. At Spanish football, possibly. I can see Barcelona appointing him. Xavi's under pressure.
Xavi will get sacked by the end of the year.
And I can see Barcelona taking someone like Fernando Diniz.
No.
It's going to be interesting to see tomorrow, 6 o'clock on TNT Sports. The game is live. Manchester City, Fluminense. Mustafa is saying that his boys are going to complete the circle with a 3-0 victory. I genuinely think there's going to be a shock because of the way City are playing, and they're going to be surprised by this style of play. I think Fluminense and Marcelo and Diniz are going to bring it home. 2-1 victory, and we'll end with a quick one on the Carabao Cup.
Aye.
Liverpool winning 5-0 against West Ham.
5-1.
5-1, sorry. Yeah, Chelsea.
Give Moyes a bit of credit.
Chelsea are in the semis as well. Who are Chelsea playing, Mustafa?
Middlesbrough.
Michael
Carrick. Imagine if he wins the Carabao Cup and goes to United next.
Massive.
Could see it happening, you know.
Massive. Well, Ten Hag won the same
thing last season. No, but yeah. But Ten Hag's under a lot of pressure. I think he'll get sacked by the end of the year, I think, especially if Ineos do take over.
Well, they are going to, yeah.
And if they want...
if and when they take over.
Yeah, and to be honest, if they want to make a statement, you either bring in a world-class manager like Carlo Ancelotti, who they've been touting for 20 years or whatever else.
They won't get Carlo.
Or the opposite side is just put all trust in youth and bring someone like Kieran McKenna, because he's smashing it, let's be honest.
Switch, yeah, he is.
Or you bring in Michael Carrick, who's still having an alright run at Middlesbrough.
I think Liverpool are going to win the Carabao Cup.
No, I think Chelsea. Honestly, I think Poch finally will do something with them. Yeah. It's the only competition they're doing good in. Let's be honest.
No,
It's
you're
the only
right.
competition that can
but
get them into
Liverpool have
Europe.
won it more previously, and this squad has won more with Klopp, as we know what I mean. So I think Klopp's got the
Yeah.
experience of taking him there.
But then again, with Poch,
And he'll win it.
But then Poch, this is the only way he's going to get into Europe.
He is, yeah.
So he might just throw all guns blazing and say, you know what, F the league.
I would like to see a Chelsea-Liverpool final back in the day type. That old rivalry.
I think
coming back.
Fulham will beat Liverpool though.
Nah, not over 2 legs.
They've beaten Spurs, bearing this in mind, in-form Spurs, an in-form Ipswich, and an in-form Everton. Just
It's over 2 legs, Mustafa. I don't think they've got it in over 2
True,
legs.
but then Liverpool, what are they going to focus on?
No, I think
When Liverpool
that's
have
what
put their
I'm saying.
eggs in all baskets, they've always struggled. They did it in the quadruple. They only won one trophy that time.
2, FA and
FA and Carabao.
So that's what I'm saying. Carabao, they'll win it. Innit? I've got a feeling.
Maybe. Let's see.
Good one.
Let's
Thank
see.
you very much. Share, comment, like, and subscribe. See you in the next one.